Hey, what's going on? It's Code Ninja here. In this video, I decided to do another medal, and I picked the Legion of the Skull, which is a medal that wanted me to focus on Team Deathmatch. Now, Team Deathmatch is something that I've played before. I played quite a bit of it, not a ton of it, but enough to know the basic general feel of it inside of Battlefield 1 here. But along with Team Deathmatch, you saw there that I picked a support class, and I wanted to pick a weapon that I've been hearing a little bit more about recently, the Bar 19, and of course I like that crossbow launcher, but I couldn't remember exactly which of the Bar 1918s people were really using. So I picked one, and it kind of didn't really work out quite as well as I wanted. I didn't pick the right one, I think. I wanted more of the hipfire accuracy, so I pretty quickly realized that I picked the Storm instead of the Trench, and so I switched over to the Trench here in order to get that better hipfire accuracy. And I think that gave me a little better gameplay overall. The Trench version having better hipfire accuracy. It's a little difficult for me to move around as a support class and can't quite engage as well as I would as an assault class. And frankly, it's been a while since I've played support, so I'm not quite used to how this class plays anymore. I'm so used to either being assault, where you just run and gun and get in the middle of the action, or scout, where you really need to play the outside, you need to play the edges of the map. And with support, this was my favorite class for a long time, and I really enjoyed it. But I've forgotten how to play. I've forgotten that I needed to, be a little further out, kind of medium range distance, in order to really deal well with the support class. So a lot of the initial gameplay here through these team death matches was me trying to remember how to play support. And you can see right here in this clip that the trench version of the Bar 1918 is giving me a little better play. I'm doing a little better of keeping to the edges and taking cover and staying around the outside of the combat just a little bit in order to get things rolling. But for the first two parts, or for the first part of the Legion of the Skull, you really just need to play 2 rounds of Team Deathmatch. So I didn't really want to focus this video too much on just playing those 2 rounds. You see right here that we got defeated in this first round anyways. Didn't have a whole lot of highlights for my play in order to show in that round, because frankly, I'm just getting used to trying to play the support class again. So on to the second round here, though. I think I did a little bit better. I had a few more kills. I started to finally sort of get the pace of Team Deathmatch as well as the Assault class again. Now, once again, I do love this crossbow grenade launcher that they added with the giant shadow map and patch in December 2016 here. It's become kind of my go-to gadget for the support class, and I've heard a lot of other YouTube players, YouTube video game players and video makers saying that they don't like this particular gadget so much, but frankly, I've found it to be a lot of fun. I think it's got a really good balance of being able to lob a projectile at a pretty good distance, the amount of power that the explosions have, and then the general refresh rate of getting that extra grenade when you need it. I think it's worked out pretty well, and I'm really enjoying it. Throughout the rest of this gameplay, though, one of the things that I'm really trying to focus on is my ability to get in and out of cover quickly, to move back and forth around corners here and try to attack while staying near cover. I know that's a problem that I've had in the past, and so you'll see me in this gameplay ducking back and forth, running in and out of buildings, trying to find places where I can see what's going on, stay near the action, but not be so in the thick of it that I just can't get anything done. And so I'm trying to, especially on Suez here, it's pretty easy to do in this particular map when you're in the cities here. And Amiens, of course, has a lot of cover, and some of the other maps as well. But it's been an issue for me where I tend to just run around a lot, and I run really quickly from place to place and try to run these really long distances to get between very distant pieces of cover, and that's gotten me killed a lot in this game. So I'm really trying to focus on that, especially as the support class here, because I don't have the ability to really take on assault classes and win those head-on firefights. The assault is pretty much going to win every single time. So the goal for me in relearning the assault class and in playing Team Deathmatch was to really be more aware of my surroundings, which you can see here I'm doing a pretty good job of failing at, not checking my corners, not watching where the enemies are going to be on the minimap, and not really paying attention to the sound in the game. No, I'm getting a little better though. I'm starting to pick it up again, and I'm starting to get a few more kills in this round. Now, once again, this is just for the first part of Legion of the Skull, where you only have to play 2 rounds of Team Deathmatch, so I wasn't terribly concerned about winning or getting a lot of kills. Really just trying to figure out the class again, figure out how Team Deathmatch works inside of Battlefield 1. Again, I said I've played it before, but mostly I've played Team Deathmatch in Call of Duty. I did manage to get a few good flanks right here, and frankly, though, I think in the end I realized, especially from this scene right here, where I had the drop on these 2 guys. I should have legitimately had both of those players, but I failed to get either one of them. And for me, part of what that came down to is, well, just my lack of ability to aim, but I also realized that I don't necessarily like the bar M1918 that I was playing with there. It's got a good level of accuracy and power to it, but a very low bullet count. So what I ended up doing, I switched over to the MG15. I think it has a little better ability for me to play because it's got basically a higher bullet count. Instead of having 20 bullets in the magazine or clip or however you call it, it's got 100 in the low weight version, and I really like that. I did try playing with the suppressive edition for a while, suppressive variant with 200 rounds, but it doesn't have the hip fire accuracy, it doesn't have quite the mobility, so I switched over to the low weight version. And at this point, you know, you can also see that I've switched game modes. I got through the first couple of sections of the Legion of the Skull, which required me to just play 2 rounds of Team Deathmatch, got through that no problem, and then to win a round of Team Deathmatch, which I also got through that as well in trying to figure out how to play with the Assault class again. So in order to get the third part of the Legion of the Skull, though, you gotta get 20 kills in a round. And frankly, you know, as I've said before, the best way to get a high number of kills in a round is to play Operations. And so I switched over to Operations. I switched my weapons, switched my game mode, wanted to make sure that I got this Legion of the Skull completed, and for me, the best way to do that is to go into Operations. So you see, we're playing on Sinai Desert at this point. I've got the MG15 low weight, and I start doing a little better here. I'm taking cover more often, I'm paying attention to my surroundings a little bit better, and I'm generally starting to pick up my kill count in order to get this section of the Legion of the Skull completed.
Gördünüz mü? Bir düşman tankı. Şu mühimmatı al. Bomba gönderiyorum.
We are
Aha onlara bir bomba.
attackers remain.
So toward the end of the round here, I found this pretty good perch up on one of the ledges where there happened to be pretty close to that border between where we're allowed to play and where the enemy team, the attacking team, is coming from. So I kind of camped up here for a bit and got a few kills up here. Didn't get as many as I would like. Got taken out a few times because it's a pretty easy spot to get taken out, but overall, I found this particular perch to be enjoyable. This particular weapon, the MG low weight, is doing pretty good for me. I'm definitely aiming down sight here, not really going for the hip fire accuracy, which is fine, but the low weight version gives me that option of having the aim down sight versus being able to lay down with the bipod and do some real damage here. So heading back up to that same spot, there's definitely a lot of enemies coming through this particular entryway, and I wanted to continue taking them out, trying to get myself built up to that 20 kill count so that I can complete this particular medal. Not the best aiming there, but I got the job done anyways. Another enemy hit, 71, and cavalry. I hate these cavalry. I always have a really hard time with these cavalry guys. But in this case, I managed to do fairly well. Take that guy out with a crossbow grenade. Survive that cavalry for a moment.
Orada bir gözcü var. Onlarınkilerden biri.
Right here toward the end of this, I get my 20 kill count. I get the Legion of the Skull. And toward the end of this game, you can see right there on that mini-map that there was an enemy train up at the top. And after I completed this medal, I ended up finding a Tank Hunter kit and did a lot of damage on that tank, as well as a little bit of infantry sniping with the Tank Hunter kit. But I've got that coming up in another video that I'll be releasing probably if just a few minutes after this one, so be sure to check out the Tank Hunter versus Armored Tank video. Be sure to drop a like, a subscribe, and put some love in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.